Welcome to the High School Backups Podcast. Once again, my name is Nick, bringing you week number 3 of our podcast, episode number 3. Getting into it today, we've had a very exciting day, actually. This week, we were kind of struggling to find some stuff to talk about, and, the lovely NFL decided to feed it all to us in the span of about 2.5 hours. So we'll definitely be talking about that a lot today. But starting off with our normal thing, we start with your New England news. Keeping it nice and quick here. Recent news, not a lot going on in Patriots land. We're hoping we hear some news sooner rather than later, as most of us are Patriots fans. Red Sox, not much going on. MLB lockout. I don't think they hit the deadline today, so I guess we'll see. Celtics have been on a really good streak overall, especially before and after the All-Star break, recently beating a full-strength Nets, regardless of what Ben Simmons is. It was a really good game. Tatum dropping 54. It was a crazy game to watch. Bruins have looked absolutely fantastic, going 5-1 on a huge road trip, including finishing off with a big win over Columbus. Did lose in overtime over the Kings last night. Can't win them all. Still got a point though. So looking to try and get out of the wild card spot in the East. So moving on to our actual topics today and what we will be looking at. We are going to start off with the big one. Originally, we just had it as one thing with the Aaron Rodgers stuff. No, now it's the NFL frenzy, all this craziness that happened today. So where do we want to start? I personally want to kind of talk about Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, but there's a lot going on here. Other stuff that happened too.
All right, I'm just going to say I called Aaron Rodgers staying with the Packers last week. Gotta love it. My only reaction to Aaron Rodgers' deal, whatever it may be, there's some reports that it might not be entirely accurate. Good luck winning a title if you're taking up that much of the cap space, Aaron. Good luck. It's the same team as last year that lost in the divisional round. Good luck.
I also called it last week. For the record, Jake and I were on the same wavelength there. I don't think it's entirely accurate what we've been seeing. I do think we're going to get a little rework of the contract in the next couple days, but excited. As much as I hate the Packers, I am excited to see Aaron Rodgers back in the Packers uniform. So that will be interesting.
Isn't it for like another 4 years?
Yeah, we don't really know yet. Here's how it kind of went off today. So I was originally dropped by Pat McAfee about 2 minutes before Ian Rappaport and everyone else. Adam Schefter got a hold of it, but essentially to keep a gist of it, Aaron Rodgers is staying with the Packers. He actually came out and said it, but the whole details of the contract is all BS. It's all crap. And Pat McAfee said it, and then Aaron Rodgers just a few hours later tweeted out saying, yeah, this is not the contract we're actually looking at. This is all BS. It's not actually true. So
gotcha.
He's looking for a more team-friendly contract is the exact words that were from Pat McAfee's sources. So that was his joke today. It was obviously, and then he slipped up later and said Aaron Rodgers is the source. So it's going to be more of a team-friendly deal. They even franchise tagged Devontae Adams today officially. So they're looking to have their full squad back for hopefully a couple more years, and on that side of things, it looks good for them.
I just don't know. Go ahead, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm just excited to, because they'll get Devontae Adams back, but I cannot wait for the season to start, and they're just going to double Devontae Adams. They'll get some good catches, but nobody else will catch anything, and Rodgers is going to complain about it. I don't know.
That's exactly where I'm at. I mean, literally, it's what's the saying? Craziness is just doing the same thing over and over again and thinking it's going to work. They've lost in the championship round and the divisional round the last 2 years, and they haven't won a title since 2010. They keep doing the same thing over and over, and it's just the same team that's a year older. Aaron Rodgers isn't getting any younger. So, yeah, great. I mean, even if it's a more team-friendly deal and they can make some moves, right now I'm just seeing the same Green Bay Packers team.
Gonna win their division every year.
Yeah.
What has the North provided them for competition so far?
There's no one there now. There's literally no one. It's young Justin Fields with a garbage rest of his team. There is Kirk Cousins and his mediocreness, whatever you want to call it, his ability to be good in bad situations and awful in good situations. So don't really understand what's going on there. And then who's even left? Why am I forgetting who's
Jared
left?
Goff, the
Detroit
Lions.
Lions.
Jared Goff from the
The
Lions.
Lions. Oh my God, the Lions. It's so
Nah, dude,
honestly,
Super Bowl contenders.
they have a top. They have realistically a first round bye, likely probably more like a 2-3 seed the next however many years there. They have a draft to hopefully do it right. They don't need a lot besides wide receiver, to be
Jordan Love
honest.
2.0.
No, I don't think they're making that mistake again. To be completely honest, I really don't.
I think it also brings up the question of what happens with Jordan Love. Does he just stay as a backup on the Packers until he's
No.
27?
As he
No.
should, yes.
He's a career backup.
He's a career backup. Plot twist, he becomes the next Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Moving on to my more favorite subject today, where I want to spend the most time today. So there's a few little things that went around today. We'll talk a little bit about Calvin Ridley after, but Chris Godwin got franchise tagged today, which is huge. Mike, wow,
Gesicki?
last name. No, Mike Gesicki got franchise tagged. So did the tight end for
Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz, thank you. And
Calvin.
then there's also, was it Mike Williams got a $60 million 3-year
Yep.
contract,
Yep.
$40 million guaranteed. Well deserved. Thank you, Justin Herbert, for the fantasy carry every year. So
He's gonna be a bust now. Not Herbert.
Okay,
Williams.
Like you're on some crack or
Williams,
something.
Williams
So,
is going back to his old self.
I was like Justin Herbert's nasty. I don't even
You
care.
were sounding
Russell
like me
Wilson's
there
in
for a
that
second,
division.
Austin.
Russell Wilson's in that division now. Please give me more 40 to 40 games. Please. Justin Herbert can't win because his defense is garbage. Please give me more fantasy points. 2 more a year. Thank you.
I'm just really excited because here's the thing with Russell Wilson. I mean, he's coming from what was the toughest division of football, the NFC West. And then now you pair him with a much better offensive line, pretty good weapons, and now a good defense. Oh
This
my
is now
God.
the toughest division.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
bye.
is the toughest division. And
By
I can,
far.
and if any quarterback is to beat them all out, I mean, Russell Wilson has beaten Brady and Foxborough. He crushed Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. The only time he played Patrick Mahomes, he outperformed and won the game. So like Russell Wilson can play. So he's a really clutch quarterback when he needs to be, and I'm just excited to make life hell for the Chiefs.
Honestly, that is going to be the single toughest division in football. And I made the joke earlier about the Raiders getting out of that division. No, the Raiders are a good team, and they're going to go 7-10 or 6-11 in that division. And it's just going to be sad to watch Derek Carr's career fade away.
Dude, they got Josh McDaniels now, so it's either gonna. Honestly, I was happy for him, but now it's gone. Like he has a guaranteed 5 or 6 L's every year for the next 5. Like it's just awful.
Like, yeah, please give me Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, and Patrick Mahomes facing off against each other 4 times a year. Like, please, I'll be the first one to watch those 8:30 games on Sunday night all day long.
Every week.
But-
All right,
But
well,
can
let's
you-
just say now Russ has to cook.
That's true.
Yeah,
You better
Okay.
show up.
After this past season, this is his season to really make a
Yeah.
statement and make another push for the Super Bowl. Like this
Also-
is gonna be his season.
Russell Wilson has a run game again. Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon were great last year.
Nasty.
Oh, I know.
When you say Russ is going
also has
to
a
cook, it's
throw
going to be
game,
real easy for Russ to cook.
He's got some nasty wide receivers. He's got Cortland Sutton, the underrated big man.
Yeah.
He's got Jerry Judy, the speedy McSpeedy, and then you got Tim Patrick, the PPR god. It's gonna be so much fun.
I am so excited that I have Russell Wilson in our fantasy league right now. That just
I
makes
would
it
do
a
too.
Nice, easy keep right there for me. I cannot wait for August when we do that.
Any
draft.
quarterback in that division.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah. Because also
Now-
you
now
have
the-
because you also have defenses that can be exploited. The Chiefs' defense can so easily be exploited. Just throw towards Sorensen and you're fine. Like the Chargers can be chewed up pretty easily, and then the Raiders are just gonna be so exhausted from getting slapped around all year. Yeah, they're gonna be exhausted.
go ahead,
Chargers-
Andrew. Go ahead.
The Chargers, they have the worst defensive football.
Now I've also been hearing that Von Miller might be looking for a return to Denver.
He's like, yeah, I got a chance at a
Oh,
championship again.
So like, Could we be seeing another run for the Broncos in this
Oh,
campaign
yes.
where they get
God, I
a
hope not.
championship run?
I do, but I
think-
don't.
The Broncos went 7-10 with Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock last year. 7-10.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
They
In
had the
that
fourth-ranked
division.
defense too. It was they had a top-ranked defense.
Yeah, they also had quite a few games they could have won too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did they fire Vic Fangio?
I don't think so, did they?
No.
Big fan, like the coach.
Who's their head coach right now?
I
Is it
think
still the
it's
same
still
head
Vic.
coach?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same guy as last year, right?
Yeah, I'm
No,
pretty sure.
Vic-
Oh.
I didn't say anything about it, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
looking.
Or
I'm
did they?
like,
Oh, Big Fangio should be fired.
no, he should not. No, I just looked, but I'm gonna tell you guys. No, it's Nathaniel Hackett. Yeah, so he's actually
Okay.
he was like their first year, second year last year. So the Broncos went 7-10 last year, right? 5 of their 10 losses were against their own division. 5 of 10. Russell Wilson's won at least 2 or 3 on his own, but he's doing more than Teddy Bridgewater. Like, that's gonna put him at the play. It's so sad that the next 3 to 5 years are gonna have at least 2 or 3 NFC West. Oh god, NFC West teams in the wild cards. Like, there could very well be a year or two in the next couple or next few. There are gonna be 3 wild card teams that are the AFC West. It's literally going to be all 4 of them, and it's going to be awful because the Patriots, unless they win the division, which they very well might not, they're going to be screwed.
It's amazing that, like, for a while, I remember the NFC being such a powerhouse, especially like me growing up as a kid. Now the AFC is just ridiculous. Like, it's unfair. Good luck.
How many
good luck-
star quarterbacks that are in the AFC right now? It's absurd.
Herbert,
We're an Aaron
Mahomes.
Rodgers away from having one good quarterback in the NFC.
Honestly, the last thing I only gotta say is this is the AFC's absolute.
No, you got
stack.
Matthew Stafford.
There you go. There's Matthew. Somebody told me the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFC now. Somebody please tell me the top 5.
Aaron
Rodgers.
Stafford, Kyler Murray,
Tyler.
Dak, and
Kirk Cousins, I guess.
Daniel
Cousins.
Jones.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins.
Kyle
No.
Trask.
Well, it's, I mean, Matt Ryan already has a
Trask.
good.
Listen to the
Yeah.
schedule
Jalen
next
Hurts.
year for the Broncos. Listen to the schedule.
Just so
They
we're
have-
on the
well,
same page, Dak Prescott is a 10-win maximum player because they overpay their whole team. Zeke only got paid 2 years too early. And on top of that, I obviously Matt Stafford, Aaron Rodgers. Kyler Murray is a drama fest. Just send him back to his sorority in college. Like, it's just awful. Like, dude, like, I get it. He wants to get paid, man.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, the nicest human being on earth, waited to get paid. He got his money. Now he screwed his team over in the process, just with Zeke as well. But he got his money, and Kyler Murray is either going to get paid and screw over his team or not get paid, and we'll see him somewhere else.
And
Yo,
I mean,
Andrew,
Did you
what
leave
we-
for the MLB?
Andrew,
So I was
what-
talking about the Broncos schedule for next year. They have released a schedule, but they have not reduced the teams that they're going to be playing. So
Yeah.
the Broncos will be playing the Cardinals at home, the Texans at home, the Colts at home, the Jets at home, the 49ers, and the Chiefs, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Raiders at home. Their away opponents would be the Panthers, the Jaguars, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Titans, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders, and then the Ravens at home. I'm
Did
That's
you
a
say-
telling you
10.
right now.
That's a
Wait,
10-win
wait.
schedule.
Yeah,
Did you
at
say
least.
11.
Do you
That
say
is
that
at
they were
least
going
11.
to Seattle for their away game?
Yes, they're
Yes.
going to
Yeah.
Seattle.
They're
It's
going
like,
to Seattle
He's
away.
going to beat him 45-7. I can't wait.
this is gonna be insane. I,
Okay.
It's like a
Yeah.
Brady
Go ahead,
returns
Steve.
game.
Sorry, go ahead,
What?
Steve. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So, like, one thing, all right, audience at home, this is what you guys should do. All right, look up the top 10 highest paid quarterbacks, and you'll be surprised only one of them has a Super Bowl or has been to a Super Bowl. So just,
That's
Is it Aaron Rodgers?
That would be
No.
Aaron Rodgers.
oh no, now it'll be Aaron Rodgers because of his thing. But so it's Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. That's it.
Matthew Stafford's not top 10? No shot.
No.
Also,
Yeah.
Let's just look at the AFC right now and how stacked it is. How many good
Hold
teams.
on, let's go through this. I have all 12 teams or 16 teams in front of me. Jesus.
12.
Okay, so Bills, Josh Allen. Okay, Mac Jones, subpar, whatever. Like not great, but good. Tua, same thing. We don't need to talk about the Jets, so we'll skip that division. But Josh Allen. So I'm gonna keep. So Josh Allen. Next division, we got Joe Burrow. Not Baker Mayfield. Lamar Jackson. And then we have, we'll say Ryan Tannehill's pretty decent. He's pretty decent.
Well, you can't-
Wow, this is worse I
He
thought.
is not better than Mac.
No, he's not. This is
But he did
worse
pick
I
up
thought.
the slack
I'll put
that,
Trevor Lawrence in there because he's young. And then we got the whole AFC West. So that's like 8 great quarterbacks.
Hold
All
on,
right,
hold on.
first
just-
off,
But
Hold on.
Let's just talk about the teams
That's
in the
when
AFC
you
right
start. That's where the controversy comes in. Here we go. Kyle, go
You're-
ahead.
No. I'm just saying here. You're saying that you're gonna say Trevor Lawrence is up there because we're giving him credit because he's young, but you're not gonna give Mac Jones credit. 'cause
that's
he's
what I'm
young?
saying. I'm with
Trevor Lawrence
Kyle
is
on this one.
Trevor Lawrence is the 10th best quarterback in the AFC.
But you put him
Okay.
above Mac.
I did not. I said he was subpar. Well, Mac might be 9th.
now.
Okay, well, you said subpar for Mac, and then you started putting
Put
Trevor
him in
Lawrence in
the
the
list.
conversation.
Okay,
First, Mac Jones had a great rookie year.
Thank
that's
you.
great. Yeah.
16 teams in the AFC. I can name 11 that can make the playoffs right now. We've got
Yeah,
the
easily.
Chiefs, Bills, Titans, Bengals, Patriots, Broncos, Chargers, Ravens, Browns, Colts. And then if the Steelers get a quarterback, they're always going to compete. So that's
don't
going to be
forget the Jets.
the tightest playoff race ever.
Top 4 teams go.
You have 2 whole divisions that could realistically, if the Steelers get a quarterback, make the playoffs.
Yeah.
2 whole divisions.
No, I don't
That's
think the
crazy.
Browns are not making the playoffs.
No,
I
The
don't.
Browns have a
Baker Mayfield
talented
is
team.
good
Oh,
enough.
no.
Yeah, Baker
Yeah,
Mayfield is
Baker
good enough to get him
Mayfield is
10
good,
to 11
But Baker Mayfield does not have anyone around him anymore.
That's not
No.
true. Who did he lose? And don't say OBJ.
Odell,
Who
that's
did he
it.
lose?
Well, that
Like-
Odell is huge loss for him.
Not
Dude,
because
not
he
for
was
them.
garbage on that team. He was not that good.
He wasn't good. No,
Okay.
like
The Browns have a great running game and a great defense. All Baker Mayfield needs to do is be a game manager for them to win games.
Throw it
Yeah.
to Jarvis Landry 8 times a game, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's it. That's all. And he has Donald People-Jones, who somehow catches 2 Hail Marys a season. He did it the last 2 years. Like, just random.
Jones.
Browns are also
Yeah.
going to draft a receiver, so they're
Yeah.
going to be just fine.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
gonna
I think they are. I can't wait till we get a little bit closer to the season because we're gonna do some crazy fool. We're gonna do all of us do standings, do a whole episode for the season opener. But yeah, there's realistically, and then if you go over to the NFC, it's just it's not good. Well, let me go through this. I'm gonna say great quarterbacks. I'll say Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's good enough to get to the playoffs every year. That's my thought process.
Okay.
Good enough to get to the playoffs every year.
Without Amari Cooper this year,
Yes.
Yeah.
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 you
Yes.
still think so?
He's still a
Yes.
fantasy
Michael
kid.
Gallup.
Like,
They're gonna re-sign
Yes.
Michael Gallup in this.
He's still
case.
got
And
CD,
CD.
and
Dak
Michael
Prescott.
Gallup.
I think
is-
CD's better than Cooper.
Yeah.
Yes, CD is better than Cooper. Dak Prescott is a more athletic Mac Jones. He plays a very similar game, but he runs more. That's really kind of the idea of Dak Prescott. And Mac Jones' comparison is to him, but less athletic. So you have Dak Prescott. That's the only good quarterback in the East. Worst quarterback, Daniel Jones.
No, that's the only
Jalen
one,
Hurts.
Kyle. We're skipping
No,
you.
no,
Well, no, Jalen Hurts is
Let
not
him
a
speak.
good quarterback. No offense.
No, he's not.
Let him
He's not a good
speak.
quarterback.
I do think you have to at least consider Jalen Hurts for the NFC. I'm
He
not
needs to
saying
prove it.
overall for the whole league. Oh, you
Needs
don't
to
think
prove
he
it.
proved it. He
No.
brought the team to the playoffs last year.
He went 9-8 in that garbage division. He went 3-3 in the division. So 0-2 against the Cowboys. That means he lost to the Commanders or the Giants. That's all. Those teams are all suck. He lost to
It was
Taylor
the
Heineke
Giants.
and Daniel Jones.
It was the Giants. But that's
Okay, so you just proved our point. Okay, so you got Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers. I'm talking good, like
you're
playoffs every
talking
year.
like great.
Not great, but playoffs every year. Like you can pretty much guarantee on it. Dak Prescott hasn't missed the playoffs yet, and it's not just because it was bad.
Except when he
division.
got hurt.
Yeah, except that doesn't count. So Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, no one in the NFC South.
You're not gonna count Matt Ryan?
No,
Not
Matt.
now,
When was the
no.
last time he ever made the playoffs? That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Wasn't it only the year after, right? The Pats. beat
Yeah.
him? So
So here's the thing. If you asked me 4 years ago, yeah, of course, Matt Ryan's great. It's just he lost it.
I
And
forgot
then
about Matt Ryan.
and then you have, I would say, 2 or 3 in the NFC West. So obviously Matt Stafford, Kyler Murray, and then Jimmy Garoppolo, if he's still there. He'll get you the playoffs every year. Will Trey Lance? We don't know yet, but so I would say roughly 3 or 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4 in the NFC, 8 to 10 in the AFC. It is crazy.
Yeah.
I've been ranting about it, but it's crazy to me.
Oh my.
Quarterback in this league, and I was in the AFC West Conference. I would probably look.
Russell Wilson wanted to be there, man. He wanted it. He wanted to be in the best division in football to prove he's the best or one of the best quarterbacks in football. And now he gets to play Patrick Mahomes, so probably the best quarterback in football.
Yeah.
And then he also gets to play Derek Carr, who's probably second best gunslinger in the NFL. Like, just launches that ball. And then probably if you don't include Patrick Mahomes, like second or best young quarterback in the league in Justin Herbert. 3rd year. Patrick Mahomes is like 5th year now. So he's playing he's played 3 very different great quarterbacks, which is going to be super fun for him. So that's really what's going on there. I did want to kind of move on a little bit. I know we talked about that for a bit, but I figured we would. So I know. Does anyone have any last points before I move on? Actually,
are we just moving on to the Calvin Ridley thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
I need to talk about Calvin Ridley.
That's where I'm at.
Okay, so that's where I'm at too. So I just want a yes or no answer to start. I don't want any reasoning behind it. I know a few of us, I found most of us do bet on sports, especially football. I'm an avid, better of it throughout the season. I know Kyle is. I'm pretty sure Jake is.
No.
Oh, you don't? Okay, well, you should. We all play fantasy football, though. All of us. We're all in the same league. So, nonetheless, I personally think, and this is the yes or no question, should athletes be able to bet on sports? And more specifically, so 2 questions, should they be able to bet on their own sports? I'm going to say yes, they should be able to bet. No, they should not be able to bet on their own sport. We'll start with Andrew. We'll just do an alphabetical order.
Say, yeah, they can bet on sports. It's not like they have an outcome on basically anything. But on their own sport, no. Definitely no.
I think they should be able to bet on sports, and then I think they can bet on their own sport in the case of like Calvin Ridley, if only you bet for your team to win. So like if you're betting like on your sport and like Calvin Ridley bets on the Falcons and he bets for them to win, then he can't influence the game. Plus if he's hurt, that's kind of dumb anyways, but I don't think you should take the chance. I think it was stupid for him to take the chance on it, but I think as long as you bet for your team winning, then you're not able to influence it.
Yes, they should be able to bet on sports. No, but I think Calvin Ridley's is a little bit different, and I'll explain why if we get to it.
Yeah, we will.
I think yes on betting on sports. I also want to say yes for the same sport as long as you are not playing that day. So like if Mac Jones starts betting on San Francisco versus like Cowboys.
Yeah.
Because you won't have any relation besides maybe being a friend with a player.
I'm in with agreement with everyone else here, saying that yes, you should be able to bet on sports, but I don't think you should be able to bet on your own sport simply because there could be a little bias in there. Like, I'll get into it when we get to it.
Yes, I believe they actually can bet on other sports. In the NFL, you can. In the NFL, you can. So in this case, he can. But no, it's your sport. It doesn't matter. No ifs, ands, or buts. No, you shouldn't.
So here's how I want to start with the next one. So this is what I heard from listening to stuff today. Also, it factors into my own work. I'm in the finance industry. This is very much like the idea of insider trading. So the whole idea with insider trading is that you have insider knowledge in one fashion or another that allows you to have an advantage over the general public. That's just a general idea, not getting into the nitty-gritty of it. Calvin Ridley as a player, not just with his relationship with his friends of different players on different teams, but his own team, the staff for that team, the coaches for that team, coaches for other teams, staff for other teams, gives him, truthfully, an unfair advantage to bet in any games, such as knowing when certain players are hurt or not hurt or playing or not playing ahead of time, simply because the dollar amounts or the spreads in games and whatnot can change drastically depending on injuries and whatnot. So if he knows something's happening beforehand, it can cause a lot. Now, truth be told, he's banned suspended for at least a whole season, which is absolute bogus.
Yeah.
For the reason alone that people have gotten suspended for 4 games for breaking the law.
Yeah.
In terms of abuse and other stuff.
Thank you. So that is the exact point that I wanted to bring up. So something that just came out in the NFL last month, where we had knowledge that that the team owners were telling their head coaches to forfeit games, to intentionally throw the game. How can the NFL talk about the integrity of their sport because of gambling on sports when they are allowing coaches to throw games? That makes no sense to me. And this is an actual rule in the NFL rule book where you are suspended a minimum 6 games for physical sexual assault, and it goes on and on into other crimes. If you only get suspended for a third of the season for physically causing harm to someone else, that is ridiculous compared to sports betting. Should you be allowed to do it for your own sport? No. We all just pretty much agreed to that for the most part. But if you're physically causing harm to somebody, sending them to the hospital, causing emotional, physical damage, and you only get suspended for a third of the season, that is complete bogusness of this league. Like this league, that proves the league can be a joke at times.
Also, $1,500. $1,500.
Yeah.
Kyle,
it's ridiculous.
Absolute facts. Now, I said earlier that no, you shouldn't be able to bet on your sport, but Calvin Ridley's situation is a little different. So my thing is, Calvin Ridley was home away from the team, and I'm pretty sure they suspended his contract, so it rolled over. So he was supposed to have 2 years left with this year, 1 year afterwards, but he still got 2 years because they suspended his contract. So technically he has no ties to the NFL at this point, besides the fact that he's an at-home away player for mental reasons. At that point, he's technically a civilian. He's not at practice, he's not at the games, he's not even watching football, he said. So, do I have a problem with him betting $1,500 on a game when he's away from the game, away from his team, and his contract has been suspended? Absolutely not, because you don't owe an obligation to a suspended contract.
Yep.
Why in the world does it matter if he's betting on a game? His contract is suspended, it had been extended, he's still got 2 years left on his deal, even though if it had not been suspended, he'd have 1 year left on his deal. So you can't have both ends. You can't suspend his contract and keep him for 2 years and then uphold the obligations of the contract. It's not like you're paying him.
That's a great point, Jake.
I just think it's honestly ridiculous to do an entire season where, I mean, players have done a lot worse. And I think it was in one case, it was like a player abused his child and he got 4 weeks suspended.
Tyreek Hill.
So, and speaking of Tyreek Hill, it's like the NFL is so it's so, I don't know, there's a lot of hypocrisy for the reason of like you look at a taunting penalty, but defensive back bats the ball down and like kind of shouts towards the the receiver, they get a flag. But Tyreek Hill can run past everybody, putting deuces into their face, and it doesn't get flagged. Like the NFL just needs to get their, I'm sorry, Justin, needs to get their shit together, because there's so much hypocrisy that it's laughable that you bet $1,500 so you can miss a whole season, and yet this guy is accused of beating somebody and it's only minimum 6 weeks. Are you like, come on?
What did they used to do about baseball betting in like the 1900s? I feel like that was a big thing for baseball players to be insider betting.
Pete Rose. The legend himself. Not much.
And the Black Sox.
Yeah, and truthfully, there's some breaking news on my phone right now from a few things I'm sure all of us will have some shocked faces on. So just to kind of tie up that subject a little bit, yeah, not much, Justin. And there's a lot worse stuff. Now there is like sports integrity that's important, but at the end of the day, like I don't know, I struggle to be okay with a season and maybe a few
No, it makes
games.
sense.
Tom Brady got 4 games for doing nothing, so that's a whole other issue. Breaking
Goodell.
news, straight from Adam Scheffner: Seattle saved $16.6 million against its cap by releasing perennial All-Pro linebacker Bobby Wagner. He will be allowed to sign with another team before free agency begins next week.
Come to New England.
Let's go.
I don't know. I don't know if he's a little slow. He's kind of like a slightly faster Hightower. I don't know.
Hold on a
It's
minute.
Wagner.
Hold on a minute. Y'all know we tweeted about the Seattle Seahawks essentially just fire selling everything. Absolutely fire sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they couldn't get a trade partner for Bobby Wagner.
At this point,
I'm
let's
surprised
just
too.
trade for
That
DK
cap.
Metcalf.
Yep.
Trade Metcalf. And the other slightly less important news, but it was important for me in fantasy for defensive player. Titans they signed outside linebacker Harold Landry to a 5-year, $87.5 million deal. So
I got that
making
notification.
almost $20 million a year. Yeah. So the Bobby Wagner stuff is pretty crazy. It's kind of crazy. It's so late at night, to be honest. But so a lot going on in the NFL.
In Seattle, it is only
It's
I'm
only
like
6:45 out there.
6 o'clock.
Dinner time. Everyone go eat with your families, okay? Get off the telephone.
Yeah, but
So,
the thing about Bobby Wagner out there, he's probably sitting at dinner right now. All of a sudden, gets to know.
yeah.
He's like, I'm
what
free.
the heck? He's
I'm
like,
getting outta here.
Russell's gone. I'm gone. Get me out of here. I am gone.
He's gonna go to the Broncos.
$16.6 million is a lot, though. That's a lot of money. So.
Well, isn't there also rumors that they're trying to trade Tyler Lockett too?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you showed that us earlier as well. So Tyler Lockett might be on the block. DK could be, if they're really wiping it out, like
No, DK is the only one that's gonna be there, and he's just gonna be
he's gonna be super mad, bud. He's gonna look around. He's gonna go cry with Pete Carroll some more.
dude, he's the John Travolta meme of just like,
Yes,
Guaranteed
dude.
process to DK. Yeah, this is my last season, and he's out.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be interesting. So, did anyone want to make any more final points? Any more thoughts? I'm very passionate about Russell Wilson because I love that man. Even though he almost beat us in the Super Bowl, but
I hope he goes 5-11.
I do not hope that.
I hope he goes 5-11 so I can rag on my cousin for being a Broncos fan.
I do not. I honestly think I was looking at it. Well, in general, I think Broncos immediately go from a fringe playoff team at best to probably a 5-6 seed, like probably 5 seed. So
I think their ceiling is a Super Bowl contender. I'm not sure if it makes them Super Bowl winners. There's a lot of talent in the AFC, like I said earlier. It's going to be a tough AFC playoff race.
Hey, Joe Burrow's only going to get better. So is Justin Herbert. Like those kids are still young. So, okay. Next subject, kind of next piece here. I'm going to take up a lot of time. We'll talk a little bit about the NFL Combine. What did people see? Shut up, Steve. What did people see? Anything of note? I personally put in the little information. I love the Rich Eisen 40-yard dash every year. I didn't see if he did it this year, but I love, it's for charity and whatnot. So I love that he does. He does the cleats every year. He auctions it off. So personally, the draft in general for me only shows athletic ability. It doesn't necessarily show ability to translate in the NFL. So that's just a personal thing. Now, there has been times where that's not been the case.
Metcalf.
DK, yeah. So, but truthfully,
and we took Harry.
So honestly, y'all know the draft is my thing. I love draft time. I get my Mel Kiper on and make some wild predictions. Some of them hit, some of them don't.
Most of them don't.
Most of them don't. Hey, we're only as good as our best picks. I've had some good ones.
Cannot wait to get rid of.
Honestly, just real quick,
kill Harry.
Some real quick winners and losers from the combine. I mean, Malik Willis has to be QB1 winner. Was on display. He didn't run or anything. He didn't really have to. We all know he's an athletic freak. Christian Watson from North Dakota State, the receiver, ran a 4.36 at 6'4". Mini DK. Brees Hall tested better than anybody thought he would. He ran under a 4.4 at running back. Evan Neal and Ike Ekwonu both tested ridiculous. This kid Dylan Parham from Memphis, he was a guard. His next gen stats were through the roof. He had a grade of like 80, so he's on the rise. And then let's just shout out the entirety of the Georgia defense for being the most athletic freaks on the planet. N'Kobe Dean didn't participate, but the rest of them showed out. Biggest losers, Kenny Pickett. The only thing I heard about him all week was how small his hands were, and from from what I saw, he played fine. Like his throws were good. He tested athletically well. But the story from the combine is how small his hands are, so I think it's going to hurt him. Personally, I don't really care, but I mean, apparently people care enough.
Kenny Pickett is going to be one of the biggest steals of the draft this year because he's going to drop so low that people are someone down low like Tampa or Pittsburgh, someone in the bottom half of the draft is going to pick him up, and he's going to go on to have an incredible career. Just because of that stupid stat of his small hands. Like,
is it by how small his hand is or how big? Because every time I would search a Kenny Pickett, every time I searched a Kenny Pickett picture for that last video, it would show like hand size.
Yeah, it's how small his hands are. 8.5 is way below the league average. There's not many quarterbacks with below a 9-inch hand.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams, small and didn't test well. He was a running back. Came in at like 190 and ran a 4.64. Was not good. Jeremiah Hall had bad numbers across the board. Myjai Sanders from Cincinnati, the defensive end, weighed in at 228, underwhelmingly when it came to the athletic testing. And then Jermaine Waller and Michael Wright, the corners from Oregon and Virginia Tech respectively, ran almost 4.7s. You can't be a corner in the NFL and run a 4.7, guys.
It does seem slow. Wasn't there an offensive lineman that ran like a 4.9 or something like that? He's like 380 pounds. And he ran like a 4.9.
4.87.
You're talking
faster than Mahomes.
I think you're talking about Jordan Davis, and he's defensive lineman from Georgia.
Yeah, and the dude ran like a crazy fast 40. And I'm like, that was what I took from the combine, as well as I've heard all of your takes on it.
What I love to see is I love to see that one of the biggest things I've ever realized is you see a lot of offensive linemen running like for 300 plus pound guys, really good combine times. And I feel like it just goes to show when you see someone like Quentin Nelson that like offensive linemen are becoming way more athletic and becoming super athletes now. Like they can run really fast. They're not just big chunky guys. If you looked at like the offensive lineman diet from like the 50s, it was like eating ice cream and a ton of I'm sorry, Justin, and a ton of meat. So like it's interesting to see big guys like offensive and defensive linemen just being true athletes. Oh my gosh.
Dude, Evan Neal was the leanest 347 pounds I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. He weighs 100 pounds more than me, and he looks better than me. It's horrifying.
Dude, Aaron Donald, I just looked it up. He ran a 4.6, and he's a big dude. Like 4.6 is like crazy. And on top of that, also, there's another thing here. Asking Aaron Donald's the greatest defensive lineman ever. That's a whole other thing. I think he's second, but that's regardless. I think he's very close. He's very close first, but I think he's second. But anyways, yeah, dude, just these big dudes. Just honestly, the Patriots should draft one wide receiver and then all defense. I'm talking 3 super speedy linebackers and like whatever at that point, like 2 corners, like a safety and a corner. Like that's what you draft, and you call it a day because you can draft defensive players. And I don't care whoever the highest rated wide receiver is that's not named N'Keal Harry, draft for the love of God. Because N'Keal Harry was rated like 7th or 8th. 7th or 8th! And they picked him in the first round. And it didn't work. Learn.
I mean, we literally watched DK Metcalf as the most insane athlete.
And we didn't.
And his college tape honestly looked better to me than N'Keal's ever did.
Yes.
N'Keal looked slow in college. And they're like, yeah, that's the guy. That's Tom Brady's number 1.
No, dude.
And what people don't realize with N'Keal Harry is his only impressive stat, or if you look at all of his catches, the majority of them were contested catches because he's not fast enough to outrun people. So yeah, it's like, oh, he's good at contested catches because that's all he can do. But he's
really not.
And
Now
he's
he
not
can't
since-
do it because he's playing real corners, man. That's the thing. That they
Yeah.
got to with defense. The Patriots are really well known for getting like kind of like just crazy with it and finding these crazy talents that just make no sense and no one thinks they're going to be good, and yet they're super good. Like most of the Patriots' defensive talent were like 3 through 7th round picks. There's a
Or
few
just
out.
use it undrafted.
Yeah,
JC was
or
undrafted.
undrafted. Like they find these crazy like talents that nobody knows about, but then they try to do that on offense. I just muted myself. They try to do it on offense, and it doesn't work. Like it just pick the best player on the freaking like that's
Okay.
available.
Okay, hold on. Julian Edelman and Tom Brady were two of the best Patriots of all time, and they were drafted in the 6th and 7th round, respectively.
Yeah.
Who has 20 years?
Gronk was a
Yeah.
2nd round pick, so I mean, I guess I can give you that one. But
Yo, J.C. Jackson was undrafted. Are you kidding me?
yeah,
Well, we can all
absolutely.
be honest. Belichick is great at drafting, like defense and stuff. He
Yes.
sucks at
At offense.
wide receivers, mostly wide receivers. He's
Wide
fine
receivers.
with running backs. It's really just wide receivers. He has no idea to evaluate them, and he's
Oh,
even
dude.
admitted it.
Yeah, I mean,
He's like,
keep in
I don't.
mind
I'm not good at it.
the Gronkowski, Aaron Hernandez year. Those were the I'm pretty sure number 1 and 3 rated tight ends that year, or like 2 and 4, something like that. Like they were rated very high. N'Keal Harry was rated 7th or 8th, and he drafted him in the 1st round. So, and the Gronk and Aaron Hernandez year, although they, Aaron Hernandez was, killing it. So like it's like it was
Literally.
easy picks. It was easy picks
That's
for
untaken.
the Patriots. And N'Keal Harry is just. I looked at it. I watched highlights. I'm like, this guy could be good. And he was just awful. And yeah, Julian Edelman, Tom Brady. Yeah.
Nick, just kind of curious. Did you mean to make
Of
that?
course I
pun?
did.
Of course.
I was just thinking of
of
that
course
too.
Of course I
Untaken.
did. Of course I did. We're all in a better place now. So
Okay, so I think we need to draft like early on. I think we could go for depending on who falls to us. I think like of the top receivers. If there's like a good one like a Garrett Wilson or an Olave or something like that, we take them.
get the Alabama guy. I don't care where he's trade up for
Jameson
him. Get him.
Williams.
Get Jameson Williams. He wants to play with Mac again. Bring him in.
And that's fine. I don't think we trade for him. To be honest, I don't think he's worth the trade up, in my opinion. But I think he'll fall anyways because looks like so far on all the mock drafts and everything, it's Garrett Wilson high, Olave's high, and then the USC was that
Drake London.
Drake London, and then Arkansas receiver
Traylon
Burks. Yeah, they're all 4 of those are going in the 1st round so far that I've seen.
Then you got
But I think
Mechie
we,
sitting there.
yeah, you got mentioned, you got Wilson or Jameson.
Many good ones.
So they'll probably fall down to us. I think we could take one of them, and then I think you could go with some fast linebackers or something like that. I mean,
Yes.
what's awesome about this is we need speed this year, and the entire draft class is just speed. Like it doesn't matter what position; it's literally the fastest ever.
Perfect
across
timing.
Every
Perfect timing.
every single like fastest QBs as a total. It was fastest running backs, DBs. The DBs were insane.
Yeah.
2 guys under 30. Are you kidding me?
Mhm.
That's insane. So I think we need to take. Some of those guys are going to fall late. So I think we should. A guy I really want though is that Tyquan Thornton, fastest receiver. But I looked at him at Baylor. He needs a little bit of work, but if he's got that 4.28 speed, just take him later in the draft because he's gonna fall down because he's still like. Anyways, that's what I want.
No, building off of what you're saying, Austin, I think you're on the right track. There are 3 or 4 guys I could see that fall to the Patriots area between Olave, Drake London, and Jameson Williams. Those are my 3 guys for the Patriots, right around where the Patriots are going to go. I think Drake London is probably the premier pick at that spot because he's 6'4" and is an athletic freak. If none of those guys fall, I think you can wait maybe to the 2nd round to get Christian Watson, but you're going to have to trade up for him. I think the most realistic option is that Jameson Williams falls to 21 and the Patriots take him. That's really where it's at. But honestly, if we get Jameson Williams, I'm going to be amped and I'll be going off.
I'll be
Okay.
amped for Mac.
What I would like to see though is if those receivers go faster now than they were before, and somehow Devin Lloyd falls to us, I want him.
up.
I
Pick him
want
up.
him. Like I would take him over any receiver that falls to us at that point. Just pick him, and then there's so many receivers that I would be okay with later in the rounds.
Yeah, John Mechie will fall to us in the 2nd round most likely. So if that's the way it falls, I'm not going to be mad either. It'd be
Draft 2 wide receivers. I don't even care.
I mean, I feel like also the Patriots have a good chance to maybe trade for a wide receiver if we throw in like Nelson Aguilar in there in a trade, maybe use a lower draft pick. I think if we can take care of that, then we can maybe use our first pick for an insane defensive back because we're losing J.C. Jackson.
Dude,
likely.
I don't even know. I don't even want to trade. There's no one, even Robbie Anderson. Like Robbie Anderson is like a budget version of Nelson Aguilar. To be completely honest, at this point, we have a young quarterback who is gonna be a Dak Prescott at the very least. He's gonna bring you to the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
Likely. So I mean, we'll see with this whole AFC West situation. But in general, you have a good chance at playoffs every year. Give him some wide receivers, including one of his best friends from college, to play with. You've seen it work in Cincinnati. It kind of works at the Eagles too. Like Jalen Hurts loves his. I can't even think of his name right now, but
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith. He loves Devontae Smith. Yeah, it's like give them their guy. Like give him a chance because I think it could work.
One last point on that. I see a lot of people talking about the Alabama receiver Slade Bolden, who was literally roommates with Mac Jones. Everybody's talking about him going like the 7th round. Again, I'm not opposed to it, but again, he ran like a 4.64. He's essentially Julian Edelman light. So if you need another slot receiver, yeah, go for it. But I really hope they take one or two guys earlier that are just blazers.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, they need outside talent. Because to be honest, Kendrick Bourne's great, but Kendrick Bourne, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. Kendrick Bourne is a 2. You have Jacoby Myers, a great
Maybe a
3. Yeah, but you have like Jacoby Myers and Kendrick Bourne who kind of play that 2-3 role. And although you could have people better than them, I'm perfectly fine with Kendrick Bourne being a 2 because he was the number 1 guy against number 1 corners last year and had a pretty damn good season. I don't have the exact number in front of me. He probably had 700 to 800 yards receiving, maybe
800.
60 catches.
800 plus.
800 to 6 with like 50 to 60 catches, having the number 1 corner on him, and he burned one of the best corners last year. Like literally burned him after he just got burnt. Like he played great. I'm happy with him being a 2-3 with Jacoby Myers. We have those 2 tight ends still. We just need a 1, and I would be perfectly fine if that is a drafted receiver because there's so many good ones. So that's just my looks on it. So
this is the last thing I want to add. Just my wish list is I want Devin Lloyd in the first. I want in the second we'll take, depending on who falls, but really any receiver. I really don't care. And then I want to get the linebacker from Alabama, Harris. I think he's going to be great. And then I want us to take Tyquan Thornton, like probably 3rd, 4th. I think he'll fall to that area. And then I want the tight end, Jelani or Jelani, I don't know how to say his Woods from Virginia, the 6'7" who ran 4.6. Please give me that tight end. Please give me that tight end.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'd be honest with that. We need at least 2 linebackers to be drafted because Dante Hightower can't. He's just not as fast in this game. At least right now, maybe he drops some weight. Maybe he gets a little bit faster. It's possible. He is a old style Brewski Mayo type linebacker. That just doesn't work. We have Uche, who's great, and now that we don't have Kyle Van Noy, it's like okay, well, we have Matt Judon, but who's across? Probably Uche. So who's in the backfield? So there was a rookie last year. I think he got brought up on this podcast as well, who didn't play last year. Yeah, he didn't play last year because he's like good and fast. So he'll be good, but still need 1 more at least. And the corners and safeties aren't getting any younger. You lost Jay. You're probably gonna lose JC. I think is it guaranteed yet? I don't think it's guaranteed yet.
No, he's just hitting the open market.
Yeah, so you probably lost JC. Devin McCourty's not getting any younger. We're not going to be able to have the best defense or corners in the league again with Jalen Mills.
Jonathan Jones is coming back at least though.
Yeah, Jonathan Jones, Jalen Mills, Devin McCourty, and
Joanne Williams.
Kyle Duggar is the safety.
Ooh, Joanne Williams is also a good linebacker.
Yeah, I was gonna say Joanne. Yep.
Okay.
And then you can't forget Barmore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Christian Barmore's a defensive tackle.
But he's going to be a beast next year.
He stepped up. He really made himself prospect.
I'm not worried about the line at all, honestly. If I'm being honest with you, I'm not worried about the line. I'm only worried about we need like at least 1 or 2 linebackers, and we definitely need 1 or 2 safety, or corner and a safety. And then, sure, go 2 wide receivers or wide receiver tight end. Go with something like that. but you have to really load up on defense this year, and you can go late. Like there's so much talent, you can go late.
Kyle Duggar's a free safety, right?
Yes,
Strong safety.
and
Yeah.
he's
No, strong safety, strong
disgusting.
safety.
Oh, he's just okay.
Well,
Yeah.
he's a nickelback technically.
Great
Is the
band.
name. So he's the third corner / safety / fourth linebacker or fifth linebacker. So he's good. He's very
Yeah,
good.
oh,
It's essentially a
yeah.
safety that plays in the box. It's a lot like what
Yep.
Jamal Adams does in
Yes.
Seattle,
Blitz
But he's
boy.
faster.
Kyle
But he's
Duggar's a better
faster.
Kyle Duggar's a better cover guy.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Well, he had a
Jamal
club
Adams
on.
is just a blitzer.
Dude, Kyle Duggar had a club on and still played lights out. Like that's all I got to do. So,
Still don't think we
anyways,
needed to take him in the second round though, but whatever.
I think he's worth it, to be completely honest with you. But
He is now, but I still think we could have waited. But
yes. Okay. Moving on to the next step here. I know we have good info. So looking at sort of talk about the NHL for a little bit here, beyond just the Bruins. So I know it's
Your-
Kyle's favorite subject.
Your
So it's
spotlight,
definitely
Kyle.
gonna, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of
Let's
Kyle,
go.
mostly Kyle going on here, but we're just gonna talk a little bit about, getting close to the playoffs. I'm sure we'll talk about that when that comes up, both the NBA and the NHL. But we want to talk a little bit about the rookies. Trevor Zegras been coming around. As Boston fans, we love Jeremy Swayman, who is technically a rookie this year, as he didn't have enough games to be eligible last year. And honestly, if Swayman keeps playing like this, he could be up for some awards this year. So, well, I guess we'll see. But yeah, Kyle, feel free to take it off.
So there's 5 guys that I'm thinking could be the faces of the league that are rookies this year because of how well they have been playing. Jeremy Swayman is one of them. I didn't have faith in him last year. I was very vocal about that, how little faith I had in him last year, and he has impressed me. He has so I was looking at the stats of Jeremy Swayman right here. He is first in goals against average and save percentage, not amongst rookies, amongst all goaltenders in the NHL. That is a hard stat to get as a rookie.
How many
And he's
games?
done 56, I believe. 40, I think it was 56 he played so far. So that's pretty good as a rookie to have those stats. The 4 other guys who I'm thinking are going to be the faces of the league for 15, 20 years or so. Moritz Seider, who is a German defenseman from the Red Wings right now. He is looking phenomenal. He is 4th in points amongst rookies this year. Second one is Lucas Raymond, also on the Red Wings. Red Wings are going to be scary in the next couple of years once they get a goaltender. Their goalies are strugglesome right now. So Lucas Raymond is going to be he is looking really good. He is 2nd in points amongst all rookies right now. But the next 2 that I'm really looking at is Michael Bunting and Trevor Zegras. Trevor Zegras already has a move named after him. I don't know if you got Nick. I don't know if you can pull up that video, or Justin. Maybe you can throw this video of this insane pass that
Which one?
Trevor Zegras
There's
did.
2 of them.
Exactly. The one that I'm thinking of, right, he took the puck on his stick and just flipped it over to a goaltender and 2 defensemen. Just flipped it over and baseball home run hit it into the goal. It was an absolute insane goal. Justin, you have to try and get that video as best you can.
Yeah, I'll try to find it.
If you need help with finding it, I'll definitely send it to
It
you,
won't
'cause
be hard.
Literally just search Trevor Zegras. It'll be like the first 10 videos of him with this one play on YouTube. Like, this kid is insane. Like, there aren't many superstars when they're rookies that can have a move that other young stars want to imitate. The last person to have a move that young stars really wanted to imitate was Alex Ovechkin, and he was a rookie in 2005. So this kid is absolutely insane. He plays for the Ducks, which I feel sorry for him, but just like, the Ducks aren't what they used to be. But man, Trevor Zegras is going to be a star in this league. I cannot wait.
So I have a quick
Cannot
question.
wait.
So in the NHL, so when a rookie is drafted, are they immediately thrown into the league, or do they have to play in minor leagues for some time?
So it depends. It depends. So if they're really good, they could go to the league right away. A lot of the times they're drafted while still in college, so they finish off their college years. Other times, if they're not quite good enough, they play in the minors for a couple years. It's not like the NBA and the NFL when they go directly to the rosters. It's more like the MLB where they kind of have to grow a little bit, unless they're the top of the best of the best, pretty much.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
So Kyle, I'm gonna agree with you on Swayman. We love him over here in Boston. The only name I didn't hear you mention, I was looking at NHL.com just to pick up some stats, is this kid Anton Lundell from Florida. And this is probably more of a basketball stat, but I'm looking at plus minus because I think it shows how good you are and what value you add.
No.
And he is plus 30 in his plus minus.
Which
They've
is
scored-
gross. That is
That
gross.
is really gross. So the plus minus in the NHL is so different compared to the NBA. Like it's like amongst hockey fans, it's such a gross stat to look at because all you have to do is be on the ice. You could be skating off the ice onto the bench. If a goal gets scored, you get a minus for that. You could be nowhere near the play at all and still get a minus toward that.
This is an outlier though. Plus 30.
Plus
No,
30.
yes.
They've
Plus
scored
30 is
30
definitely
more
more.
goals while he's on the ice. That's nuts.
He does have like an insane power play goal stat too. He's like top 2 in the league in power play points. In the league. That's not just amongst rookies. It's amongst every single player in the league right now. That's an insane stat.
And to two of the players you mentioned, Bunton and Sider. I think Bunton leads all rookies with 45 points right now, 20 goals, 25 assists, really balanced game. And Sider, the defenseman from Detroit, has 36 assists as a rookie. That's nuts.
Moritz Seider is going to be like, he's going to be one of those defensemen that people want to grow up be like imitating. Like he's going to be that guy.
Who was the defenseman that Detroit had way back in the day when we were growing
Nicholas
up?
Lidstrom.
Yes.
Nicholas Lidstrom. Oh man, the thing about Nicholas Lidstrom that I love is that he just didn't give. Sorry, Justin. It's like no attitude at all. I love it.
Oh my god, that's nuts. But no, the class of rookies for the NHL. Just looking at the stats, and I mean, I've watched obviously some Bruins games, so I've seen all these guys play once or twice. But Swayman obviously impresses. He's got a 2.03 goal against average, a 93% save percentage, and 3 shutouts. Nuts.
Absolutely agree.
Absolutely. I'm looking at so this season, Jeremy Swayman has started 25 games. He's 15-7 with 3 shutouts. That's not bad. And last season he had 5 shutouts in 35 games. He went 22-10. Like it's honestly kind of gross, like how well he's been doing. And last year he was doing a little bit better, but in general, I was looking at it, and it's really funny to look at. I don't know if there's any other rookie goalies this year, but like looking at like rookie stats, there's like you guys said, Michael Button, Sider, and Lundell, and then you look at goaltending, it's all Swayman. Literally not even close. Like no one's even close to him. It's literally him. So.
Yeah, I remember when the Bruins thought Malcolm Subban was going to be the next Tuukka Rask or Tim Thomas a while back. Every Bruins fan
is one of the biggest busts I think I've ever seen the Bruins draft. Like he's the equivalent to N'Keal Harry. For you football people here, like he's the equivalent to N'Keal Harry. Like this high-toted.
Well, he actually made a difference in with the Golden Knights for a little bit. A small difference.
Well, okay. Small difference. It's hard to not have a difference when your star goaltender is Fleury, who got traded away for a 7th round pick. This goaltender won the best goalie of the year award, which is the Vezina Trophy, and then got traded for a 7th round pick
to Chicago.
It was ridiculous. This year won the best goalie of the year award, and it was like, nah, we don't want you. Get out of here.
Chicago must be happy.
What?
Chicago must be happy with that.
Well, Chicago sucks right now. They're bottom 4 in the league right now. So
if they didn't suck, they would be happy.
Don't even get me started on Chicago right now. That's a whole other story that I can go hours on talking about.
Well, let's move into the last subject. This is gonna be a shorter one. We're just we're checking in because in the next couple weeks we're gonna be doing our March Madness special where we all fill out brackets. So as right now, I think Jake gave me the stat earlier. I think it's 8 spots have been locked up so far. 6 spots. There are a lot of the smaller spots with the ACC coming up. Yeah, so it's just not my favorite is Chattanooga just because the name is awesome. Love saying Chattanooga.
Fun fact about one of the teams right now in the Atlantic Sun Conference, the team that won the tournament won't get to play in the March Madness tournament because this is only their 2nd year in Division 1. And NCAA has a rule where you have to be in Division One for 3 years in order to participate in March Madness.
They're
This is
that
their
nasty,
second
though?
year. They're
Wait, so
that nasty. This is their second year in Division One, and they just won the conference tournament. It's Bellarmine. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Belarus?
Wait,
Belarus?
so
Bellarmine.
I thought it was
I feel-
Jacksonville State.
Oh yeah, Jacksonville State won. So Jacksonville State is going to March Madness because they were the regular season champions, but they weren't the ones that won the tournament. They actually got eliminated. So so Bellamarine played this other school, which is Jacksonville something, and then Jacksonville beat Jacksonville State. So Jacksonville State lost in the quarterfinals, and I guess go to March Madness because they were the regular season champions.
We gotta
That's
get rid of
such a
these.
dumb rule that the NCAA has.
We gotta get rid of
Dumb
these dumb
rule.
formalities, man.
It's
Yeah.
so
Ah.
fun. I love
Also,
the chaos. Love
two
the chaos.
two big returning schools in Murray State and everyone's favorite Loyola Chicago. What was it, Elite Eight just a couple years ago? Was it Final Four?
Let's go. No, Final Four.
Final Four. I'm rooting for the underdogs. Always rooting for Loyola. Murray State. I mean, they don't have John Morant? Who's there? They don't have him anymore.
Yeah.
So that's rough.
Loyola was there last year too.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but last year doesn't count. Last year's
No.
tournament just wasn't the same. Nah, it just wasn't.
this year's a
the same.
vibe.
This
I
year
was gonna
is
say, I
gonna
mean,
be
it's
so
not the same, but
We're-
they still were there. So
Okay,
So
yeah,
we're gonna do brackets, but we're gonna do this early picks to win the whole thing right now. One pick. Just do this. I'm throwing this out. We didn't even talk about this.
Oh,
Andrew,
man.
go.
Oh man, you're really gonna make me do this first.
Yes, you got 5 seconds.
Let's go with unranked team UNC.
Oh.
Okay, garbage cans. Okay, let's go, Austin.
Oh.
so we're just doing the one, not even the final four.
Yep, just one. Nope,
one.
we're just going one. We'll
All
talk.
right, then I gotta go with my boys. We're going UConn.
Ooh, I should have won with them boys.
Subject to change when I actually see the bracket. Duke with Coach K retiring on top.
Justin, give me a school you like.
I was looking at it right now. Let's just go with Virginia Tech.
All right.
I like it.
All right, yeah, I'm going with an absolute random one. I'm just gonna say, if this team even makes it, which they're on the bubble right now, so they may not even make it, but just for fun, I'm gonna say BYU, just for fun.
You didn't even go with your boys. You didn't go with Providence.
No,
No, because
Ooh.
Providence.
You think I'm gonna-
I'm waiting to see the actual bracket before I really pick them. So no.
Reason
I
I,
do think
didn't choose UConn
I do think
is
BYU
because
will.
I need to see how they do in the Big East tournament. That's the only reason. I didn't
They'll
choose
still
them.
be fine.
they play Thursday. They play. Thursday.
Yeah, they play
The
Thursday.
winner-
They
They
start
play the
tomorrow.
winner of
Big East tournament starts
Xavier.
tomorrow.
And Georgetown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Xavier-
right.
No,
No, it's not Georgetown.
Xavier and
Yeah.
DePaul.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Is it the
Georgetown.
Paul?
We already
the
beat
worst.
DePaul. Yeah.
Yeah, we beat them in the regular season, or the last game of the regular season.
Yeah, the last game of
Um,
the regular season, senior night.
All right, Steve.
All right, so I'm gonna come with something crazy. I hope you guys are ready for this. I don't really watch college basketball, but I know what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a huge it's gonna cause a scandal, but a certain Division III basketball team is gonna come into Division One, and it's gonna be Plymouth State University, and they're automatically gonna get into the tournament because why not? Because we're cool, and they're gonna win the entire thing. And get ready for Darty season after.
Okay, I'm gonna give a somewhat real prediction here. So I am between two teams, either Houston or Illinois. But if I have to choose one, I'm gonna choose the team I always pick to make it Final Four, and they never have in years. I'm gonna pick Houston to actually pull it out finally this year, and not stink for once in the world when they get to the top 16. So, yeah, that's who I'm gonna pick.
I'm actually going to say something else because I just noticed I was looking off the list of people that actually didn't make it.
Oh,
I was
So
wondering when you said Virginia Tech,
the
I
first
was
4
confused.
out was Indiana, BYU, Daytona, and Virginia Tech. And I was looking right at that. So I'm actually going to go
So,
with...
For the record, first out doesn't necessarily mean they're
Yeah.
eliminated yet. It means they're close to being eliminated.
Oh, gotcha. I'll
Yeah,
still go.
it
I'll go
means-
with Alabama instead.
Yeah, Virginia Tech can make it, but they're pretty much gonna have to win the tournament to make it. Unless they make it far and they play well, they could have a chance of getting sneaking into the bubble. But yeah, they're on the outside looking in right now. But we do have to talk quickly, since we're talking about basketball. We were going to talk about Champ Week. we do need to quickly talk about just like the actual ones that are happening this week, because the selection committee is, the selection show, I should say, is happening on Sunday, so we'll all get to see that. I think now, were we deciding on whether or not we were going to do a live stream for that?
We haven't decided officially. It is a
We'll do a
possibility.
Possibilities of us doing
Okay.
live chat.
Well, whether or not we do it on that day, I think if we do it, we should do it after they've already made the picks, and that way we can actually just do the live stream and make our picks together. But I think we should just quickly talk about this week's championship. You got the ACC, Big East, all the big tournaments are happening right now. So I'd like to hear from the Big 10, Big East, ACC, SEC, and Big 12. Though, I don't really care about the Pac-12, but we could do the Pac-12. I mean, so give your winners for all of those. Go ahead, Andrew.
Sorry, I don't watch any of those other conferences when it comes to college basketball.
Well, I actually got a list. I'm looking at. I'm gonna send it to those who want to do it. If you don't have to do it, if you stay.
I love college basketball when it comes to March Madness and all, but I only watch the Big East because go Huskies, bleed blue. So I'm rooting for the Huskies to win the Big East, but Big East always has some big competition with Villanova, Providence, Xavier. When Georgetown was good, but they went 0-16 this year. Thank you.
Hey, they came out of nowhere to win it last year, so just
Hey, I know.
So you never know. Maybe they will, but
the
I don't.
women already won theirs, so I'm rooting for the men to win theirs. Big East.
Well, I was talking about Georgetown coming out of nowhere last year, but
well,
yeah.
No, I'm talking about the women.
The UConn women did win. So.
I just sent that list. I sent the list there. So if we just want to do the conferences that are on that list, it has most of what Austin said. I sent it in the Discord chat. So if we want to do essentially the ones on the list, I think that'll be good. So I'll just take it because I was already looking at it. So of course I am gonna choose. I'm actually gonna choose Memphis to win the tournament, but I think Houston still gets in, and I think Houston still wins the whole thing. Just so we're on the same page. I do think that Coach K is going to win the tournament because he has to. If he doesn't, I'm going to be mad. I think everyone else will be. Did you guys hear the average ticket price for his final game, by the way? It was gross.
Saying 5,000
it was, it was like 56 or 6,500 or something like that per ticket, which is higher than all but 3 Super Bowls in the last 10 years. Just a random fun fact I saw.
Oh my God.
So that's for the Big East. You know what, Villanova, because Villanova always finds a way to win. Even though I like UConn, I just feel like Villanova always finds a way to win. Big 10, I am going to stick with, I think Illinois wins. I think it's really close with Wisconsin now because Wisconsin's always nasty. Big 12, I'm just going to stick with Kansas because it's Kansas. Pac-12, I always choose Arizona to go far in my brackets. We'll see this year, but I'm going to choose Arizona. And then SEC, which is the last one. That one's always a toss-up, I feel like, because no team's really good other than Kentucky, like really good. So let me look at these odds real quick. You know what? Let's do a fun one. Let's do LSU. I'm gonna say LSU wins that tournament.
All right, boys. We're starting with the ACC. We're gonna go with Duke. I just picked them to win the entire thing, so they're definitely gonna win the ACC. Big East. I'm gonna roll with Nova. Big 10, I got a real good friend who's a Wisconsin guy, so we're gonna go on Wisconsin. Big 12, probably Kansas, old blue blood. Just gotta roll with it. Pac-12, go with USC. I don't know, fun pick. And then the SEC, it's gonna be Auburn. Highest ranked team from the SEC right now. I know that Kentucky can always give them a run, but I think it's gonna be Auburn.
I'll just go off the list. ACC, I'll hope for Boston because Boston's awesome. Big East, I'll go for Connecticut with Andrew and Austin. The Big 10, looking at these schools, I'll go for Penn State. 12, Texas Tech. Probably gonna get all these wrong. Pac-12, California, SEC, LSU Tigers, and is that it?
That is it.
That's it.
That's the fun part, Justin. Though we have very different ranges of knowledge of this stuff, so I think that our bracket show that we're gonna do in probably next week is gonna be super fun. So we're all gonna fill it out on here. We're gonna set that up, and we're all gonna do that. And bearing any other crazy news, that'll probably be the whole show. So yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
For the record, people aren't supposed to get brackets right. Like, it's supposed to be fun to see how, like, the way I love filling up brackets is I love to see how wrong I can be. Like, it's,
Yeah, but you're a Giants fan, so you're used to losing.
Oh, that's true.
That's fair.
That's true.
Anyway,
He's just a
for
New
the
York
AC
fan.
Yeah, listen, it's a rough life.
I do have
anyway.
a Big 12 selection. I do have someone from my hometown who plays for Kansas State, the Kansas State Wildcats. So, with that being said, I'm choosing the Kansas State Wildcats. Shout out Mike McGurl, who
There you
had
go.
a spectacular freshman and sophomore year, but due to COVID, his junior year kind of fell off track. And his stats still proved that he can be a good guard, but I think Kansas State has turned around their season a little bit, but they are not projected to win the tournament, but I think they could do it.
All right. So, ACC, this team already beat Duke in the last game of the year. It's going to be UNC. It's going to happen. The Big East, I'm going with my boys from my home state. It's going to be Providence College. It's going to happen.
No.
They're not going to it's going to happen.
No.
The Big Ten, Big Ten is going to be Illinois. They won the regular season. Illinois is looking really, really good this year. The Big 12, y'all just forgot about the team who won last year. I know last year didn't really count because it was COVID year, but Baylor was still pretty scary last year. So I think Baylor's going to win the Big 12 this year. The Pac-12, Arizona is always top 8 every single year. So Arizona is probably going to go far. And then the SEC, they're the number one team that I'm saying is going to be the number one overall seed in Auburn. So I do think Auburn's going to win in the SEC there.
All right, here we go. I do not watch college basketball, so we can see how this goes. I'm looking at the list right now.
Penn
we're gonna
State.
start-
No, I'm just kidding.
All right, AAC. I'm gonna go with the Temple Owls because I love the name. For the ACC, I'm gonna go with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish because I love it.
The Irish
Let's
are
go-
pretty good sometimes.
The Big East. Let's go with the Xavier Musketeers because I love the chocolate bar.
We love Xavier.
I'm gonna go to the Ohio State Buckeyes
Nice.
because I like Ohio State. Always a fan.
OH.
I'm gonna go with
You
the
should-
TCU.
I knew he was gonna say the Horned Frogs. I knew
Yeah,
it.
the TCU Horned Frogs. It's so good. All right, that's the team. Why? Because they're clearly the best. They're gonna win the entire tournament.
Why are they the best, Steve?
Best jersey,
Uh,
one of the best jerseys in the whole NCAA besides Oregon.
I'm gonna go with the Oregon Ducks because look up
The Ducks.
facts about ducks. That is a fun
They've
time.
been actually trashed.
Florida Gators because I love alligators, and I think that's it.
I hope he gets them all right.
Watch him be totally right, and everyone, all of us, are so wrong. See,
See, the thing
If I
is,
get
when we
this
do our-
right and
our
I
NCAA
win, if I win March Madness, I'm taking the money and I'll buy us a new set.
This is what I'm
Because
saying.
it-
Like, he's going to end up winning March Madness because if anything I've learned, the people that know nothing about this sport always win March Madness. 'Cause it's that hard.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Just
Oh,
out of
it's-
nowhere.
Steven, it's okay. I went with
It's 'cause-
Xavier because
It's
Charles
just the
Xavier.
people that like try to use
Yeah,
stats
that's true. That's
always
good. That's
try to overpredict everything that would happen, and then it's just March Madness is March Madness for a reason. You just gotta outpredict the predictions.
I do
Yeah,
You
love.
just gotta be
outside the
lucky.
box.
No, you have to be lucky. You're more likely to get struck by lightning 10 times than to get a perfect NCAA March Madness bracket. So
Unless
it's
you're
all
Steven.
about luck.
It's
just
impossible
gotta
to
have
get a
fun
first
with
round
it.
correct. It is so impossible to get a first round correct.
Fun fact:
All right.
you're
Just
more
gotta have fun
likely.
with it.
Ready? You're more likely to get crushed by a vending machine than you are to win March Madness. I'll
Yeah,
just let that
probably.
rest.
That's an
Hey.
interesting stat. Alright,
yeah.
my
go
turn,
ahead,
and
Austin.
then I think that's it.
That's
right,
it.
everybody else is gone. Cool. All right, so first off, I'm gonna be going with what do we start off with? The ACC. Is that what we started with?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I'm probably gonna go with. This is a hard one, but Duke's just so easy,
Mhm.
but they're probably
They're
gonna win
too
in his
easy.
last year. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go with Duke on them winning. Then when we come to the Big East, I think UConn has the most balanced team. We have the second most points per game. We have we're right there with Villanova and Providence with percentages across all three different categories: field goal percentage, 3-point, and free throw. And then the biggest reason I think we're going to win is because we've got the size. The defense is the best, and we're getting 3 more offensive rebounds a game than Villanova and Providence, who are our biggest competition. So I think they're gonna take that away. It'll be a hard fought battle in the end, but I think we're gonna come away with that this year and break through. And then Big Ten, I gotta go. Honestly, I think it's gonna be either Wisconsin or Michigan. I think I think Michigan might pull some out of their butts and bring something up. They've got to win to probably get to the tournament. So we'll see how they do. And then Big 12, I'm going with. I gotta stay with Baylor. I think Baylor's gonna win it. They look the most consistent right now across the Big 12. So and they've got veteran experience. And they won the NCAA tournament last year. So I think they're be ready for this. Pac-12, that's a hard one. I think UCLA has the best chance of getting hot in the tournament. So I think it's gonna be UCLA. Taking down the Wildcats in the final, and then SEC. I think it's gonna be Auburn. I think they've got the best player in that conference for sure in Jabari Smith, and then they just look good. I know they've had some up and down games lately, but they've been losing close games. So I think they can stay with anybody. I think they're gonna win.
Yeah, well, I know we're definitely gonna go more into this come the bracket show we're gonna do. Haven't decided if it's gonna be live or not yet. If we do it live, it'll likely be the show for the week. Will be whatever the actually ends up being, more than likely. We're gonna figure that out over the next days. But if we do it live, it'll either be Sunday, or we'll do our normal time on Tuesday and get it ready for next week. But regardless. Yeah, we're definitely excited to get that going again. We're gonna have all ranges of experience here at the NCAA tournament, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really weird. So prepare to be a little angry if you know a lot, or prepare to have no idea what you're hearing sometimes if you know a little. So, um, regardless, it'll be a good time. Thank you guys for joining us today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all support for everyone sitting here and listening to us for an hour. We do greatly appreciate it. We love our opinions. We hope you do too. We look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one.
Peace.